Hey everyone, welcome back. We are on to part 2 of constructing our album, and this is the one we did in part 1. We put the front cover, spine, and back cover together. We got our hinge in place, and this is my prototype. So this is what we're going to do next. We're going to start constructing our pages. So this is a great opportunity for you to pull out your scraps when we start constructing pockets and stuff. So first I'm going to give you the measurements for the base pages. So I have it all clipped together. I try to be as organized as possible. You're going to cut 3 pieces that are 7.5 by 8.5, and on the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score at a half. Then you're going to turn it around and score again at the half. So a half and a half. Now it's going to be a 7.5 by 7.5 inch square. So you're going to need 3 of those. And then for the piece that goes on top, you're going to need 3 that are 7.5 by 7.5. Right, this is going to be our flips. And then for our photo mats that are going to go inside that pocket, you're going to cut 3 of them that are 7.25 by 7.25. And I label those photo mats. So we're going to put those off to the side. And we're going to work with our bases that are the ones that are scored and the ones that are not scored. So to put the bases together, you're going to lay your score tape where you have your 1/2 inch scores on both sides. Lay your score tape on top, and then you're going to fold those back. These are going to fit together one on top of the other, and that's going to be your base page. So we're going to assemble these very quickly. Let's do that. Line it up as evenly as possible. Hold it and pull. And we're going to release the paper on the other side. It's going to close like a book. Give it a good burnish. And that's our first base page. We're going to do that for the rest of them. This time I brought my trash close to me so I don't have this whole pile accumulating. I hope this is bright enough. Let me see if I can adjust the light just a little brighter. Sorry about the squeaky chair. All right, that's as bright as it's gonna go. Let's get another base, line it up as evenly as possible. Okay, tack it down and pull. Give it a good burnish. Release the other side. And that's the second one. Okay, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna do the same for the last one. Release. I've been working on this tutorial for a couple of weeks. It gets very difficult for me to film. Sometimes I come home from work, I'm tired, or something came up. So I'm super excited that this is finally going to come out. And then I can go on and decorate my albums for my Mother's Day gifts. All right, so there you have it. Those are our 3 base pages. And these are the photo mats that are gonna go inside each one. We cut them slightly smaller so they'll fit and slide nicely. All right, so you can put those to the side. And we're gonna start constructing page 1. page 1, as a matter of fact, let's cut our front pocket. So this is the piece that's going to sit right in here, and that's going to be our front pocket. And we're going to cut that piece to be 9 by 4. And then on the 9-inch side, you're going to score at a half, and you score again at the half on the other side. So you're going to turn half and then turn it again half. So you're scoring at 1/2 inch and 8.5 inches. And we're going to put that to the side, and I usually clip it right inside the front cover. All right, so this is the one I'm going to use for my album. And this one doesn't have score tape. So this is our first page. We have a flap, another flap, and this I clipped here because this is going to be my closure. So it's going to have a magnet here. This is going to be glued to this page, but I can't do that till I lay my designer paper, so that's why I have it clipped there. So let's do that. Let's get our pieces for page 1. So for page 1, you're going to need to cut 2 pieces that are 5 by 7.5, and on the 7.5, on the 5-inch side, 5 inches on the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so you're going to need 2 of them. 5 by 7.5, and then with the 5 inches on top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. And I have these upside down because they're working opposite each other, and that was just a way for me to remind myself that one goes on the left, the other one goes on the right, and then this is the part that's going to get clipped. So let's get one of our base pages, and we're going to start assembling our pages. So we're going to come up, and we're going to lay that there, give it a good tack, hold it in place, and we're going to pull, and we're going to give it a good burnish. All right, so that's the first one. This one's going to go on this side. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up without going over the edge, and hold it and pull the release tape and give it a good burnish. So that is our page 1, and then we're going to put an M back here so we can remember that a magnet goes here, and that's going to be the closure for the page 1. Okay, that was quick and easy. Okay, so here we are. We got page 1 done. Page 2 is going to be a pocket with a flap, and then here I left it big enough so you can use maybe one of the cut aparts from whatever collection you're using. And then in here I just have some inserts. I put like 3 of them, and I'll give you the measurements for those. But I intend to use one of the cut aparts to be my closure, and I put an M there. So let's get the pieces for this one. All right, so we're working on that side. And that is, let's see, if I can remember which one it is. I'm trying to be so organized, and still my pages are not the way they should be. Okay, so this is what I have. So for the base pocket, you're going to need a piece that is cut at 4 by 8.5, and this is where I did an alteration because I didn't like the interference, so I didn't create a gusset on the bottom. So 4 inches by 8.5, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 8 inches, or you could do a 1/2 inch, turn it around 1/2 inch. On the side that you put up, facing up on your scoreboard, you're going to lay your score tape down. You're going to flip it and lay your score tape on the inside, and that's going to create your pocket. I am going to come in here and miter my edges. It's especially on the pockets, without going over. Okay. All right. And then we're going to release the tape. I'm going to tack that down first. And then these I'm going to peel off to the sides. Okay. Make sure your page is facing the right way. This is going to come up on the bottom. So we're going to lay that down and make sure that we're even on both sides. Excuse me. And then you can release. So there goes our pocket. Our insert, it measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. That gives you enough of a border for a 4 by 6 picture. And then for the part that's going to attach onto the flap, you're going to need a piece that is cut at 4 1/2 by 1 1/2. So it's 4 1/2 by 1 1/2. With the 4 1/2 inch side up, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch on the top. And then we're going to adhere that with some score tape. And I don't see my thin score tape. I think this one might be, yeah, this one's a little too thick. Let me pause you and get a thinner tape. Okay, so I found my thinner score tape. Let's see. I am going to find the beginning. Okay. This is why I like to prep these ahead of time. Okay. Ooh, I'm not a lefty. Okay. Burnish that down. Pull the release, and then I'm just gonna estimate where my center is here. That looks about right. Make sure it's flush to the edge. And we are done with page 1. Put that off in the pile. And then for page 2, ooh, this is some good tape, got stuck. For page 2, sorry about the wire. Let's see. You guys are okay? For page 2, we have this little flap with a pocket and a photo insert. I left this here as an idea. Not sure whether we're going to do that, but you know, depending on the collection that you're using, you can always look at your cut aparts and cut the frame to be slightly larger. But we're going to do the base. And that one is, let's see, it should be this one. No, not that one. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to need a piece, and this is when you look at your scraps, your offcuts. You're going to need a piece that's going to be 8 1/2 by 3. And you're going to, on the 8 1/2 inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch and at 8 inches. And then you're going to lay your score tape on the side that you scored on. I don't like this. Where's my, there we go. Here's a card. There we go. It is like super warm today when I'm filming this. This weather's been so crazy. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to lay score tape between the 2 score lines. That's the bottom of our pocket. Okay. And we're going to give that a good burnish. I use anything that I have in my hands. Okay. Going to give it a good burn. A fold. Okay, and I'm going to miter my edges. Okay. And then we're going to get the other piece ready. So for your 7.5 by 5 inch piece, you're on the 5-inch side in your scoreboard, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. And then we're going to lay our tape. Going to give that a good burnish. And then we're going to pull out another base page. Okay, so we're nice and straight there. So I'm going to pull out another base. That's my photo mats. Here we go. We got another base. Make sure that the openings are on the sides, left and right. And we're going to attach this on this side. So I'm going to turn it to me where I can see. Line it up. And then we're going to hold that down and then release. Give it a good burnish. While we have it there, we're going to flip it open, right? And then this is going to lay in here. So let's take that off. Fold those down. And then I'm going to release just a little bit on either side. Right? And that's going to help me line this up. I want to get as close to that score mark without going over. Make sure it's centered and even, and release your papers and give it a good burnish. And then we can always do the little card. You can do a brad with a string closure, whatever style you like the best. So now we're going to work on the back half of page 2. So we've done that. We did this. And now we're going to have here a flip out, a flip up with a pocket. So we have, this is our page 4. So for the flip up, you're going to cut a piece that is 6.5 by 7.5. Okay. On the 6.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and put your score tape. I'm going to give this a good fold. Okay. And that page again goes up. So we are going to even this up as best we can to the top. And I find it that if I turn it towards myself, I know exactly, it just works easier for me because I can see it. So we're going to even this up. Okay, lay it down, hold it, and then pull the release and then burnish. Okay, so there goes our flip up. Okay, then we have our pocket on the inside, and that measures 8.25 by 4. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 4. So 8.5 by 4. On the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 8 inches and put your score tape down. And I am going to miter my ends. I hope I'm not going too fast. Please let me know. And again, all the measurements are going to be in the description box. Okay, so we're going to just peel that off, tack it down on the ends, and then I'm going to come in from the top. and give myself a little head start there so I can get it into position. So here it is, close to the score edge but not going over the score edge. You don't want interference. And then we're gonna lay that down as evenly as we can get it. There we go. There we go. Am I even? I'm even. See, I'm working away from myself. It's just a little bit harder for me. Okay, so there we are there, and here we are here. I'm gonna pull, and we're gonna pull, and then we're gonna come in and burnish. Burnish, burnish. And then for the top, the piece that comes out sideways, this way, right? We're gonna cut a piece that is 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. And on the 6 3/4 side, you're gonna score a 1/2 inch and lay your tape. So once we take that 1/2 inch away, your remaining piece is gonna be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Perfect to mat a 4 by 6 picture. Okay, we're going to burnish that down. I'm just gonna take a little piece off so I can grab it. And then this is going to go as close to center as you can get it. We're just eyeballing it. Okay, hold it there and then pull the tape and give it a good burnish. And then I'm gonna write a little M here for myself to remember that I need a magnet to keep that closed. And there is our second base page done. We're gonna keep them in order. So this is our first page. This is our second page. This is our third. This is the one we just built. That's our fourth. We're down to the last base page. So let me bring that out. Here it is. Make sure that your openings are on the side. And for this page, I have a side flip with a pocket. And I believe this is the one. Yes, okay. So in order to do this, we're gonna cut a piece that is 6 1/2 by 7 1/2. On your 6 1/2 inch side, you're gonna score at 1/2 inch and you're gonna lay your tape. Let me fold this down. And this is the piece that's gonna come out from the right. So I'm just gonna take a little piece off. I'm gonna bring it towards me, line it up. I'm gonna line it up. Right, yep, I'm gonna hold it down, pull, and then burnish. And then for the pocket that sits in front of it, you're gonna cut a piece that is 7 by 3 3/4. And with the 7 inside up, you're gonna score at 1/2 inch. And you're gonna score at 6 1/2 inches. And that's gonna be our pocket. I didn't lay score tape down for this one. So let me do that now. So we're gonna lay it there. We're gonna lay it here. And I'm gonna lay it on the inside between the score marks. Okay. Give that a good burnish. I'm gonna bend. Bend. Get right in my corners. After a while from doing so many albums, you know, there's only so many things that you can really do to a page, so it gets really challenging to kind of try to change the layouts. I find it's only a matter of time before you repeat. All right, so this is our front pocket here. I'm bringing it to me. I'm lining it up, and then I'm going to hold that down, release, release, and then come back and burnish. And that is that pocket. For the next page, and our final page, which is the back, it's just another half page with a pocket. So we're going to flip this over, and again we're going to cut 6.5 by 7.5, 6.5 inch side up. You're going to score at 1/2 inch and lay your tape. This is opening from the right side, so my writing is upside down, which is fine as long as it lays down right. And even if you lay it on the opposite side, no big deal. It'll just open from the opposite side. It's whatever side you choose. You can totally flip these around. All right, we're going to even it out. It's good. Hold it. Make sure it stays. Pull and burnish. For the pocket that sits on top, we're going to cut a piece of white cardstock. This one measures 3 by 8.5. On the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 8 inches and lay your tape. I didn't lay my, oh, I did lay my tape on this one. I'm so inconsistent. All right. And this is a side pocket. I didn't miter my edges. So we're going to bring those in, and then we're going to take just a little off and a little off. And this is going to go this way, so we're going to come in at the bottom, make sure it's all even, tack it down, pull, pull, and then give it a good burnish. All right, those are our pages. Okay, and then this is our front pocket, which we cannot lay until we set our designer paper. So now we're going to bring in our book, and we're going to get these pages into our book. So for the entering of the pages, we're going to first need to lay score tape on both sides of our hinge. So let's do that now. Let me move my base to the side. Okay. And then the next one. We're going to turn that around, and we're going to do the other side. I just find it easier when it's towards me and I can see it. Okay. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, gonna give that a good burnish. Turn it around on the other side. We're also going to miter the corners. So we're just going to, without going all the way to the bottom, we're just going to take off a little bit. It just helps bring, when you're sliding in your pages. I don't know if you can see that. I'll do it again. There we go. Can you see that? Main frame, I hope so. Okay. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, there we go. All right, moment of truth. So we're going to grab our first page, and I just lost my order. This is the last. This is the back. Okay, this is the front, and it's this one. Okay. My personal preference, I usually like starting from the back, because this way one is building on top of the other, and it just makes it so much easier. Where's my? I do exactly the same like I do on when I'm assembling. I peel off just a little bit, fold it towards the frame, fold it towards the edge. Okay, we're gonna slide this in. Right, make sure you have it in the right direction, or your pages are gonna look different than mine, which is not bad. All I did here, let me stand up for this. All I did here is slide it in. Right, see how it slides in? And before I give it a good press, I'm gonna make sure that it's even, top and bottom, here and here. And then if I'm happy with it, then I'll give it a press. And while holding it in place, I peel out the tape and then give it a good burnish. I'm gonna flip it over. You have your release tape there. You're going to peel it off and give it a good burnish. And there you have your first page in your book. We're going to do the same for the second one. I'm going to peel the release tape, bring it in, peel the release tape a little bit here, bring it to the spine, get my next page, which is this one with the flap. We're going to find our sleeve. We're going to slide it in. Sometimes it helps if you put your hand through it. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to come in from the bottom into the top, slide it in. Make sure it's even with the previous page, here and here. Okay, make sure it's snug in, give it a press, hold it, and then pull. Then you can come back and give it a good burnish. We're going to turn it, pull the release tape from the back, give it a good push, and burnish it down. Okay? This is where my writing for my hinges and all that stuff was. Okay? Before I forget. Okay, there we are. Now down to the last page. Okay? Same thing. Peel just a little bit, bend it towards the spine, do the same thing on the other side. If I can catch it. Okay, towards the spine. Okay, we're gonna find our pocket. Okay, might have to hold things down, slide it in. Okay, you're in. Make sure you're even with the previous page. Even. I think I'm looking good. Happy with it. Press and release. And then give it a good burnish. Same thing on this side. Press and release. And give it a good burnish. And there you are. There is our album. our front pocket that we haven't laid is going to be, oh, excuse me. I'm going to paper clip this to the inside so I don't forget that's the pocket. And I think in this album I wanted to do, I know I need a magnet here and here. I wanted to do a waterfall. My photo mats, now that it's all bound together. Ooh, my tray of trinkets just fell. Now that I have my album together, I'm going to put my photo mats inside so I don't forget them or I don't cut into them thinking that they're spare parts. There we are. I did tell you that all my inserts are cut at 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I have 10 of them here. And this is where I normally start to disperse them. So I know one's gonna go in there. Definitely one in here. I have a side pocket here. So I can put one there. I have a pocket here. Sometimes on this one I put 2. Okay, so that's that. Ooh, I bent my paper. Oh no. Here I have 1, but these deep pockets I usually put like 3. Okay. Here doesn't need, and then the front pocket has another 3. So about 11. Photo mats cut at 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then if you want to do a booklet, you can. This, I didn't write the measurements, but this is 8 1/2 by 6 1/4, and you score at 4 1/4. And you get this cute little booklet that you can insert into your album. Right. So I might want to put that. I put 3 there, put 2 there. Maybe I want to put that here. So I have a booklet and a photo mat. For the waterfall pieces in the back, let me get my prototype. I cut 6 pieces to be 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. So 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. On the 4 3/4 side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. So again, it brings you back to that 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I guesstimated. And if you want to see how I do that when I put mine together, I can demonstrate it for you guys. But this is what I guess would fit on my back cover. There you are, more or less, with a border. So if you want to do that, that's what it would consist. Those are the measurements. And then I will come after I've started decorating. When I come back and do my waterfall, I'll come on and add that to the playlist for this tutorial. All right, I'm eager to know if you guys are trying it, if you're willing to try. Have you ever done an album before? I would love your feedback and get to know. And tag me if you're going to do a project share, or email me some photos. I would love to see it. And if you're on social media, tag me on social media if you're going to post it. I would love, love, love to see your album. As always, stay blessed, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll catch you at the next one. Bye now.